me again in Smyrna, Georgia on December 24th, 2016, the day before Christmas. My wife and I are out getting a ride in. The weather's beautiful, mid-60s, and we're going to get a ride in before we've got to go back and get things ready for my party my wife always throws on Christmas Eve for our friends, family, and well, I kind of forgot what I was going to talk about. Oh, now I know what it was I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about how my riding has changed this past year. Up until my wife got her license, I haven't regularly ridden with anybody since the 1980s, the early 80s, when my friend Chris and I used to ride all the time together. We go ride for fun. And we didn't ride as much together as my wife and I have ridden just this fall. We ride pretty much together all the time now. Well, I like to follow her because she's the new rider and want to give her every opportunity to ride her ride, to find out what her ride is. And this way I can kind of run interference for her from behind. If we need to change the lane, sometimes I can get over there ahead of time and block traffic for her or something like that. But I was talking about how it's affected my riding because I'm not just able to just sit back in the zone and go where I would normally go and ride at the pace I would normally ride. It's been a whole different experience for me. And it's had its pluses, but it's also got its minuses. I have to pay a lot more attention. Now, I never stop paying attention to everything around me. I'm still head on a swivel, watching every car, watching every bush, every bird, every dog, cat, pedestrian, everything I see. I keep an eye on because you know how it is. They tend to run out in front of you. Things happen. People change lanes in cars without looking, stuff like that. But mostly what I'm doing now is I'm keeping an eye on her to make sure that everything's going okay with her and she's not having any problems, and that I'm staying a reasonable distance behind her and, try to anticipate where she's going to go and what she's going to do. And we don't discuss ahead of time so much where we're going to ride. I just kind of follow her and she goes where she wants. But it has really changed my riding, and it has affected my vlogging. And not necessarily in a bad way, it's just that when I would ride by myself, I wasn't having to pay attention to somebody else riding. And I had that little part of my brain free to think about what I wanted to talk about, or to just freely associate and talk about what was happening. I'm finding it more difficult to let that part of my brain go, to just let whatever it wants to say it. Again, it's good and it's bad. I really love riding with my wife. I'm so happy for her that she loves riding and that she's good at it. And I love having company. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's great when you get somewhere and you go somewhere and get off and you can share the experience with somebody, especially with somebody that you love. And so, again, I'm not complaining about that, but it is affecting me as far as my vlogging goes. It's just not as free and formless as it used to be. Very rarely did I ever get on this motorcycle and have a topic, and something would just literally pop into my head in the first 30 seconds of riding, and that was the vlog that you got that day. But I don't know if it's good or it's bad. I don't think I have as much of a coherent stream of thought when I'm following behind her. But again, like I said, my brain's doing two things at once now instead of just one, so it's hard to get that third vlogging, free part of the brain going up and running again. But it's a great time of year, Christmas and New Year's. It's a time when you hopefully you get to see your family if they're spread apart. I have family in 3 states now, And we got to see them all this year for Christmas, around between Christmas and Thanksgiving. And it makes you, it makes you think back on people that you're not going to get to see. My sister posted a picture of my mother. I'll see if I can get a picture of her to put it up. I think I do. Of my mother back, this would have been in the 50s, back before I was born. I was born in 1952 and I was adopted. But this is a picture sometime in the 50s. Don't know if I'm alive or not then. But that's my mother. It's probably one of the best pictures she ever took. And that big back on the left-hand side there, that's my dad. But my sister posted a picture of my mom, this picture of my mom, and said that this year on her birthday, which is in December, she would have been 100 years old. Now, Mom's been gone for 28 years now. And my dad's been gone for, 7 or 8 now. And I can't mention my mother and missing her at Christmas without mentioning my father and my grandfather. And I'm not going to pick out all my relatives, but there's a really great picture of them as well. I'll see if I can't find it for you. But an iconic picture, a picture of the time, the way they're dressed, smoking their cigars, sitting out looking out on the veranda over the golf course at the club that my dad belonged to, and miss them both. So, this. I miss them, and this is the time that I think about them more than any other time. This time when you think about people that are gone out of your lives. You look back on your life and compare. You compare. Christmas is one point in time every year, and you can compare it with other Christmases. The other one point in time, back years ago. And I've had Christmases when I was on my own. I had Christmases when I was freshly divorced. That, quite frankly, pretty much sucked. I remember my Christmases as a little kid and the things that I got. I remember Christmases as a new dad, and the very first Christmas that I had with my son, and the first one I ever had with my adopted daughter as well. And it's fun to compare them. It's fun to look back on them. Will this Christmas be one of the best Christmases I ever had? Of course it will. They all are. With the exception of a few, they're all just terrific Christmases. They're all great times because of family, because of friends. And when you can throw in a day, good grief, when you can throw in a day like today, when it's going to be in the mid-60s, and beautiful sunny day, and we've got the time to ride and the ability and motorcycles to ride on. Come on. How great of a Christmas is that? What more could I possibly want to get, from on Christmas than what we have now? Family, the ability to ride, my health, my wife's health. We're all here. We're all doing good. Hopefully you are. Hopefully your family is all doing well. And I hope you take a moment to reflect on your Christmas and how it compared to the other ones you had. And I hope it was a great one. With that said, you guys all have a wonderful day, and we will catch you next time. Take care.